Good morning, this is Bill from Treasured Chaos. I'm wanting to give everybody a garden update. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough. I'm on my phone. My good cameras took a crap. So we've had a lot of obstacles this year. You see, like right in the entrance, I can't actually see what I'm filming for you, but right in the entrance you can probably see where a mole has been working. He has been terrorizing my garden this year, and I can't catch him. I've tried. But every now and then you'll see a plopped plant like that, where he's kicked that zucchini plant one way and then the other way and then back that way. And it took a lot to get it down, but I think it's down. There's a tomato around there he's got, and there's a few other things throughout. But my goats, they made their way in here one day when I was gone, and they ate down all these sunflowers. And most of them have grown back, and they've grown back with a little bit of fury. Like the ones that were eat off the worst and look like little sticks, and we'll go ahead and move that way. It's a strawberry bed with onions and borage along the way. And there's a lot of trash out through here. Today is our trash day, so we've done some, we've had a lot of projects, obviously, and I got some stuff to clean up. But I wanted to show you this today because there's something that I saw this morning that first thing I saw, it was beautiful, and I just wanted to share it today. So this is what the sunflowers did that got ate down to nothing. Some of them just died. My husband tried to play tricks and drilled some holes and stuck some tomato plants in there, some suckers off the tomato plants, trying to trick us, but they died, so he didn't. But these, if you'll look, on every one of those leaf bracts, it's put out another flower head, so I'm curious to see what they look like, what they're supposed to be, and now I can actually show you. If we walk over here, we're going to pass our tomato beds as we do. We've got yellow pear tomatoes and 5 or 6 kinds of, the larger tomatoes. There's some lemon balm, cinnamon basil, borage, and I don't know how to say these things. I just kind of read them in magazines and know that I want them, or book. I read about them and find them. So if you know how to say it, you can criticize me if you want, I guess, but I say it's borage. I don't know how you would actually say it. And then there's nasturtium. I heard Paul Gauci say nasturtium. I always said nastardium, which I know is not right, but some plants don't do great. Like, there's some bell peppers down in there, but they didn't have great starts either. My biggest problem in this garden is morning glories. And then we have some lettuce. There's lettuce I planted. There's lettuce I spilt. Kids' fairy garden stuff. They play with it all over, and that's a lot of fun for them. I said lemon balm. There's some bee balm. And these tomatoes, my dogs figured out that under every tomato plant is an egg. And I guess lucky for me, the mole had already hit all the tomato plants, because my dogs then only hit the newly planted tomato plants to get that egg out of the ground, which at first I was concerned because the mole just seemed to be following my lines. The chickens have started to have to be kept in during the day because I was letting them out in their pen. I tried to clip their wings so they couldn't fly over. I tried to dam it up so they can't fly over. There's like 2 points that are good and sturdy that they still get. And I'm not good at clipping wings, I guess, because it did nothing. I did one like suggested, but I was scared of hurting them. But what they do, yeah, they got out this morning because I forgot to close them in the small pen. Like the small one, it's a cage. And the intention was to move it around, but it is stupid heavy, so we don't. Yeah, so anyways, when I came out to tend them this morning, they were already out and in the garden. And what they did was, this is what they do to my tomatoes. See that? So they're up because I've thrown out probably a dozen half-ripe tomatoes that I didn't get because the chickens got them before me. I'm dying for a fresh tomato that's mine. My in-laws have sent me some. My neighbors sent me some, but here's our next problem. Oh, where am I? Can you see that plant? Potato bugs. Boy, I collect potato bugs every day like it's a hobby. I do that every single day. Weeds aren't much of a problem. Here, guys. You can see some weeds. There are weeds, but they don't bother me. I'm trying my best to cut them off just at ground level, but everything out here just yanks so easily that I end up pulling up. Like, I need a blade or something, because what happens, you want the roots to stay in there, but you can't really get it that way, and You see that? Everything just pulls right out, so that's not exactly a problem, but it kind of is. But potato bugs have been a problem for sure, and we come out twice a day and collect them. These are more of those like ground cherries. I think they're called Aunt Molly's ground cherries. These have briars all over them. This is one collection point. We get the most off of these plants. We'll have to do our collection here soon. Behind here I had zucchini and all this stuff, which I planted all this like 7 times. To start with, I had amaranth and corn, which nothing came up. Then I put down, oh, they're loofah sponges, that's what they are. I put down loofah sponges. None of them came up. Then I put down some ground cherries. None of them came up. And then, I don't know, after 3 months of nothing coming up, like a little bit of everything came up. So now we have some loofahs and an amaranth and what are these called? They're called a vine peach. That's what they're called. They're it's like a mini cantaloupe, I think. We grew them one time years and years ago, and I thought the kids would like it. I just found, oh, I dropped it. I found some seed in there. It was old, but one came up, so. There's an amaranth, and there's a few amaranths that came up, like down this whole line. This whole line I had amaranth and corn to start with. But it didn't do. There's a few amaranths that have come up, but our corn seed was really old and we couldn't find any more. So we have lots of flowers here and there. Some things do well, some things don't. This is where I had took it off ground level and like piled stick and stuff, and there's just not a very good depth of dirt there. St. John's wort. You can't see because my shadow. There's St. John's wort down in there, and some zinnias, however you say it. There's some more lemon balm. Nothing came up here. This grape was dead for the first 2 months it was in the ground, so I put down some scarlet runner beans. They're not doing very well, and the grapes come to life. That grape was the only one that was alive. I had one at all 4 corners. This is our labyrinth. I'll go the other way just so that we can walk it, come out where I want to. Oh, you see our cucumbers up there on this trellis. Well, look at those guys, they're pretty. We've got cucumbers and dill here. There was some radishes down in there, but they didn't bloom through, but you can see our little cucumbers. They're about done. We've gotten a gob of cucumbers this year, but today's pick day, and I imagine we will ferment a half gallon of pickles. I have been fermenting them by the half gallon. Here lately, to start with, my neighbor, I didn't plant a very big, well, I planted 3 times that on one of those cattle panels, but they never germinated, so I moved the panel over for the tomatoes, and yeah, that's what we got. So I think there was a few plants elsewhere I transplanted over this way that came up, but my neighbor's been pitching in her cucumbers to where we can get a batch of 7, and we've done some canned pickles, but mostly I've been fermenting them. I get about a half gallon at a time. I get about really like 3 quarts or more, but my youngest son will eat cucumbers 7 times a day, so I make him eat one fresh thing with every meal, and that's always his choice. He doesn't like tomatoes, or he'll eat bell peppers, but we just slice up fresh food with every meal too, and so he likes that. So anyways, it's been a pretty good amount of cucumbers really with her giving me canning batches so that we can get it done as soon as we pick. But my green beans were planted around my potatoes. This was my most recently dug bed. Well, no, my husband dug this, and you can see it's a mess. He didn't put it all back down or replant. But the green beans are supposed to be bordering the potato patches for the potato bugs. And to a certain extent, well, no, it didn't work at all, really, honestly. But where I planted potatoes are coming up. I don't want to disturb these. You can see where we've took last year's potatoes, the little bitty ones that we just kept over. Oh, and there's a tatsoi, or I don't know how to say it. Tatsoi, something like that. It's right there. I've never even tried it. I've got like 6 of them out here, but the goats kept eating them down to nothing. That one hid somehow. What was I doing? Oh, I want to show you how we grow and pick potatoes. Now this potato bed over the season, I keep adding and adding and adding, and it ends up about this tall, like a but it mashes down toward the end. So there's actually quite a bit of hay here, but I want to show you what's under this hay. Those potatoes are just kind of hanging out there, and that's all we do. We just we pull the hay back, and like say I had a potato, I just do this and scuff it a little bit. I'd set the potato there, and I would cover the whole thing with hay. And you can this fall, actually, as we dig, we'll put them down and we'll put a layer of leaf mold and then hay. And so that's how we do that. And the weeds are growing like crazy, but that's making my dirt better, so we'll have it. But what this is really about today is I was greeted with my first large sunflower this morning, and I just found it to be absolutely stunning. So I wanted to share it with you. All those down that one side should be this tall, but like I say, they had a struggle. But my mother-in-law also gave me a few other varieties I threw in there. There's some that were like a red velvet, and then some more, I don't know what they were called, I'd have to look it up. But they were actually the first to bloom, and they're really pretty. And actually, the other ones was almost like a secret when you were inside. It was kind of cool. But this one laid down in my doorway, but this is supposed to be the door. It's dropped down now. It was at an angle where you couldn't even get in. Oh, look, that guy's got another little shoot coming in. This is one of my favorite spots. This is the Three Sisters spot. And the corn didn't do with crop, but I still like it. As you can see, growing up the corn, the beans took forever to germinate. They're here now. The corn's done. And now the beans is coming in. And you can see those are Sunset Runner beans. They were a huge, huge bean. Actually, I don't know if something's eating all the beans off of it or what, but I've only picked like one green bean off of it the other day when I picked a handful and fermented just because all I had was a handful. So I come back here and there was only one. There's some pumpkins starting. They're coming in there. But this is almost like a little secret space. And next year I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it better. And I'm going to use new seed. Our corn seed was 3 to 6 years old. And did you step on it again?
No,
that's okay. Oh, good.
You stepped over it.
Yes, I don't know. It's coming back into it today. Yesterday the whole thing looked wilted. I didn't know if we had a cutworm or if people were stepping on it or what was happening. But there's another one over here that, well, there was. I guess there's not now. Where was that other pumpkin, Ella? Oh, I don't know where it went. That's okay.
There are these like little seed things all over this.
I don't know. We will have to look it up. That is, we find bug seeds all the time, and we're so used to...
Under it too, you can see.
Wow, there's a lot.
Yeah, and there's some on this plant right there.
I hope they're not squash bugs. We'll look it up and put some diatomaceous earth on it if it needs it.
And there's some right there on the stem.
Good grief. Anybody know what that is?
No, but I think
like
it really
little
likes this plant.
Copper seeds on my pumpkin plant. And there are a lot. But we pick off the potato bug seeds. Or seeds, I say that. They're not seeds, they're eggs. We pick off the tomato bug eggs. And so we've gotten to where we look at insect eggs now because I knew that ladybug eggs looked really similar. Oh, here, show you my watermelons too. This is our little fairy garden pond. We were playing in it a lot, and it's not really stinky or scummy, considering only some solar pumps power it. But it's turned into the tadpole pond, and that's fine because we have a lot of places to play with our little dolls and stuff. I don't know, do they have legs yet?
Oh, I've been looking at them, but one of them was like bouncing off the side, so I think that one was.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like a wheelbarrow, like dumping out rock, but didn't necessarily happen. But anyways,
Mommy, look at these.
We didn't get it done. There's watermelons all through here. This is actually one hill. I didn't get the second hill planted because my husband started planting at our other garden.
Ready.
No, you know how to check, don't you?
Oh yeah.
But I know it's not ready. But yeah, you look for that little curlicue closest behind it to the plant. And then when let's see, when it gets, where is it?
I don't even see.
I don't either. Hold on, where's it coming from? I think I'm looking at the wrong vine to start with. Here's that. Okay, so this would be the closest curlicue to it. When that curls up and dies, well, it's beyond it though. So like basically when this stops being fed, nothing beyond it's going to be fed either. You know what I mean? So like these, when they dry up, it's going to be a really short amount of time before that's not being fed. But this one for sure, if it's not being fed, it's not. So after that happens, you wait about a day.
It looks ready.